Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Today, we're taking a look at 6.5. And pretty good. Not right down at the low, I'm a little closer to the boundary of Milos. This is when they start treating Milos. Look, you could all see me there too. Okay, timing range 87%. I brought down the below 3.9 number, which is good. Average blood sugar 6.1, but I'm also 4% above 10. So that's telling me that I gotta start watching things. If it keeps up, well, then we'll need to modify something. But right now, we're doing quite well. Today, I want to discuss the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetics. And what it's like comparing apples to oranges, I thought was the best sort of keep my hands down, a way of describing it for you. So we'll be right back and we'll start today's talk. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Press the like symbol if you enjoyed any part of this video. Thank you. Okay, now when comparing type 1 and type 2, you're dealing with two different diseases. Type 1, which I have, and which this whole channel is sort of built upon, because that is what I have, and that's what a number of people across the world have. 10% of all diabetics, 10 to 20, it's somewhere in that range, are type 1. The rest are type 2. Pure and simple. Type 1 is quite prevalent in younger ages, where type 2 is more as you age, you can develop type 2. Now, can it be cured? As we stand right now, type 1 cannot be cured. Doesn't mean it can't happen, and I'm not shutting the door on research and saying, oh, well, we'll never be cured. As we stand now, it is uncurable. Type 2, some people can cure it, or not cure it, put it in remission, however you want to say it. If they lose weight, if whatever stress is happening on their body can be eliminated. The weight gain, eating right. Some people can get off meds altogether. Some can't. There's got to be a magic situation. They haven't totally found it yet. Medication. Type 1 will always be on insulin. If you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you will be on insulin from day one. There's no sort of magic pill. Type 2, they usually start you on a medication. You can progress to insulin. And people seem to think, oh, their diabetes is getting worse because the doctor put me on insulin. That doesn't necessarily mean your diabetes is getting better. Or worse. They're trying to home the insulin for you to get you into the best sort of treatment. Type 1s can get a lot higher blood sugars. My highest blood sugar was 78.2. And when you think that 3 to 10 is the normal range, 78.2 is just out of the game park. Okay, so 78.2 for those of you on the American system or the imperial system is a blood sugar of 1,407. I was still up and talking. Now, if I got a blood sugar that high, I think I'd be a lot sicker. And, I don't really know if I could handle it. Type 2 can usually have higher blood sugars, but they're sort of still, they're anywhere from 10 to 20s. It's sort of there. They have oral medication. I didn't mention that before, sorry. Now, when we talk about DKA is more a type 1 complication. If you don't take your insulin, for whatever reason you're sick, you forget, you could end up in DKA. For example, this little machine, one of the drawbacks is the cannula under the skin. If you think of it going in like that, can sometimes be sitting on top of the skin. And now, sorry, I had another interruption, but DKA is usually restricted to type 1 diabetics. However, it can happen in type 2, especially if you're on insulin. If you're not getting enough insulin for your body, you could end up in DKA. DKA is a medical emergency. You need to go and get treatment, and you need to care for yourself. Never underestimate DKA. If you're on the insulin pump and a type 1, DKA can be sudden, very quickly. Type 2, it can be sudden, but it can also take a while. There is a condition, hypermolecular. I can't really remember the terminology for a condition that happens with type 2. But if you have type 2 or know someone, they should ask their doctor. Which is the worst disease to have, type 1 or type 2? You can't really answer that. Type 1 is always needing insulin. Type 2 can be treated with diet, exercise, taking medication. Sorry. Keeping your body working at the best it can be is important. They're both serious. And if you're having any issues that you haven't gone over with your doctor, you just don't know what to do. In BC, there's something called the nurse's line. I'm sure in other provinces or around the world, there is something similar where you can phone before and say, is this serious enough to go? But if you don't feel comfortable in the way you're treating, don't let things go on, especially DKA. If you get higher blood sugars for a time, contact your doctor. Either one, type 1 or type 2. There is so much more we can get into. And I'll come back and discuss that at a different time. Anyway, have a great day and we'll talk later. Bye now. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.